Hello, my name is John Dermeyer, and today I'm going to be going over rehabilitative and preventative exercises for a dislocated shoulder. And the first rehabilitative exercise I'm going to show for a dislocated shoulder is internal and external rotation of the shoulder against an immovable object. You start this exercise by putting your shoulder in the neutral position and your elbow at 90 degrees of flexion. And I'm going to use a wall as my immovable object to externally rotate, place my hand against the wall, and isometrically contract. I can do this between 10 and hold between 10 and 20 seconds. And I can do that 10 times. And that exercise during rehab you can do 3 to 5 times a week. And it's the same for internal rotation, just you will be pushing against the door. Neither of them you move, you only isometrically contract. A progression of that exercise would be to use a T-band. And using a TheraBand during rehab, you want to limit the range of motion because you don't want to dislocate the shoulder again. So you would start at the same shoulder in the neutral position and elbow bent to 90 degrees of flexion. Keeping a neutral spine, you internally rotate the shoulder. And then the same thing for external rotation. I would go from the fully internally rotated position to 90 degrees of external rotation of the shoulder. And both of those exercises you can do 3 sets of 10. My second rehab exercise is a half push-up walk. And this one, you just you have body weight pushing against your shoulder, and you'll walk with your non-injured shoulder into shoulder flexion and stabilize with your injured shoulder, and then come back. Stabilize and back. And a progression for that exercise could be doing half toes to feet, and where you bend over, place your hands on the ground, and then walk out. And then walk back with your arms. From shoulder flexion into back to extension. And both of those exercises can be done 3 sets of 10, 3 times a week. And then for preventative exercises, my first preventative exercise is the 4-way shoulder. And to start this exercise, I would use a TheraBand and start with shoulder flexion, internal rotation, extension, and external rotation. And with the external rotation, the difference between the rehabilitative and the preventative exercise is you can move further into external rotation of the shoulder, so you have better range of motion. and that's strengthening the rotator cuff. A progression of this exercise would be a 4-way shoulder with a dumbbell. So you can go into shoulder flexion, abduction, extension, and internal rotation. And my next preventative exercise would be a push-up. It's very important to strengthen the pectoralis muscles in order to stabilize your shoulder and not allow it to dislocate it anteriorly. And a standard push-up is done just like that. Now, progression would be a decline push-up, placing your feet up on a chair and doing a push-up. And both the push-up and the decline push-up can be done once a week to exhaustion, just doing as many reps as you can until the muscle fatigues. And on days that you're not maxing out, you can do sets of 20 daily. And that's my exercises for rehabilitative and preventative exercises for a dislocated shoulder. Thank you so much for watching.